In 0 o'clock today, on the Ghost Story Darkness Prevails, we are pleased to send to our listeners the story of the soul under the house foundation through the voice of Darkness Prevails. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest ghost story videos. Summer is hot and humid, especially in big cities when the doors of houses are sharp. The roads are all made of asphalt or concrete. So during the day, the heat is absorbed and only released at night, maybe people. Gradually get used to such an atmosphere because life here is what is the capital is the sound of the original car plus enough sounds of which makes everything become bustling, jostling, hot, stuffy. So we still say this city is a splendid city. Perhaps this saying is true, but only partly true. If the splendid is separated, it is a flower for the rich and tears for the poor. The laborers work hard all year round, spending money on their own, but never seeing any money like the people in this poor market. Here, they are all ordinary laborers called waves, but in reality, they are just hard. Must be a dilapidated house. Don't point out that the owner built it a long time ago. The upper level is still disgusting. The cement roof is low and new. The room is only about 10 square meters. Only a forest of wood furniture plus a plastic wardrobe plus an electric fan. Maybe the guards should demote it all. In this area, it's very cheap, only about $1 million, so water is self-inflicted, each has its own value. If there are more luxurious apartments, the price must be higher, of course. In that rental paper, there are two young men named Lamb and Twan, both of whom came from the countryside to the city to set up shop for several years, changing everything. Profession, but because of not having a degree, they only do manual labor. Of course, these jobs require good health and the ability to withstand work pressure. The two young men from the technology department to the porter applied to be mechanics for several production plants, but they could not last long because of their young temperament and still being impulsive and spending money without knowing how to save. Therefore, the situation of running out of money before receiving their salary often happened because these two young men were close to each other. From home they told each other everything. Like the two of them, no matter what they do, they always smoke cigarettes together, and what they do for each other, they can be said to be brothers in life and death, but it's also very good. No matter what they do, they have to go together, eat, sleep, and play together. It's even better than real brothers. After the days of Tang's tomb in the city, they still returned empty-handed. Every day, the two young men changed jobs to apply to be fung-ho for some Kaidao construction workers, but after only 2 days, Lamb fell down and broke both legs. Had to lie in bed in the Kiamin room of the girl. Both of them were emaciated, plus the worry of the son because of the broken leg. The parents in the countryside did not know. The two boys did not dare to tell anyone for fear that Long Nai would follow them in. The families of these two young men were not well off for kin. Luckily, the two young men were obedient, not because of the counterattack. They were ambitious to do business. For years, they tried to save up some money to send back to help their parents in the countryside. Being single like that, I would say they were also very obedient. If the family knew, it would be extremely bad for Lamb's parents' health. Then not very stable, this made Twan even more full, looking at his best brother, begging him to love him, drinking and staring at the sand in the distance. The predicate, the old man's leg, was so long gone that he felt uncomfortable and couldn't go home. Luckily, the construction contractor still had some back tam, went to the hospital for treatment, but paid the tan department's expenses and let Lamb stay in this room. It couldn't be because the owner didn't have a proper labor contract, so he was afraid that this would affect the project. Even though he had just given up, he asked to go. Working as a maid for a few days, then something happened that until today, the two of them still can't believe this could happen. The 5-story scaffolding, about 10 meters high, stopped at the front of the house, which was currently in the final stages of collecting the offerings for the construction outside. That morning, as usual, the altar had breakfast and then went to the construction site together. They were new soldiers, so Twan and Lamb were now responsible for being the legs of the car, the peanuts, the kangs, the base, and the main thing that happened was track above. On the scaffolding, there were a few people, and two guys from DTATFO were in charge of mixing the mortar and throwing the scene up for the construction guys. The whole group was working normally, taking off their clothes happily. However, it was different. Although they were still working, today their attitude didn't seem very pleasant, like they had lost their souls. Their eyes were pensive, looking very lively. Occasionally they lost focus. And times they threw bricks up on the scaffolding. Dinhell came back and almost fell on them. Now the winch, when Lamb controlled it, pulled the socks up and fell straight to the ground. Luckily, the two bars. Me and Chanel's eyes dodged out of the city. There was no time to do it, but the bad things that happened made even the main workers on the scaffolding not look at Nai Tang with different eyes. Duke sat down to rest, switched cigarettes, and naturally advanced. Lamb then said, "Yesterday I had a strange dream, my friend. There's something wrong with this project." "What's going on?" "Progress a little." "What the hell is wrong?" "It's just hard to work and earn money. You and I will take the opportunity to go back to our hometown to visit our grandparents someday." Looking at the guy who was my best friend, he spoke softly, as if he didn't pay any attention to what his friend had just said. Saying this made Lamb fat angry. Okay, this is not talking about that, but about something else. Men seemed a bit panicked and looked around as if he was scared of his best friend. Tuan looked straight at Duke and Lan's eyes and said, "What are you saying? Is it because we made things up a few times just now that made a mage breathe and remind me? It's okay. What's the point of thinking too much about an unfortunate incident? It's a headache. I'm right. I'm wrong. I'll take responsibility. But what I mean is not that thing about the child." "What is that thing?" "Someone died in this project." "Are you kidding? The body is still lying in that house now." "What, who died? How do you know?" "In the rain last night, I clearly saw a man with his mouth sewn shut and his eyes covered, staring at me. Who led me to this house. He went into the house and disappeared. For the past few nights, every night, I've had the same dream. Is it weird? At first, I didn't pay attention, but I heard people say that if a dream repeats itself for 2 or 3 days in a row, it must have come true, not a dream." Tam was surprised and listened attentively. The story of a late afternoon or staying up for a long time. Looking at the guy, and then continuing, "Do you believe that there are ghosts in this world?" I looked at B and C with a big face showing disbelief. "Every night I hear stories about tomorrow on YouTube, right? Your mother listened, but don't believe the people who write those stories to brag. They made up stories to make up stories that were somewhat sensational and entertaining. In this world, there are no ghosts or demons." Tuan smiled, his eyes looked straight, and he appeared extremely lewd. "We've only seen ghosts a few times. C was just a curtain call, but this ghost is a Japanese ghost. Not only is it born, but it is also sexy and attractive. But it is not a ghost yet. Lean Tien is a little bit, until now. If you want to meet me, tell me. I will give you the secret, just see. This month, I just registered for the 4-hour service." I know that the guy is joking, but he didn't say anything, just observed this house very carefully. After a long while, he said, "Vai Tuan Tan, be serious. This house's spirit has a problem, no kidding. Last night, that person woke me up and shouted, but it was very scary. He was covered in ash and wet. He was still standing at the door, then looked at me for a long time, and then went in the house, but I didn't dare to mess around at this time." Tuan just paid close attention to your face when he saw Lamb's serious expression and said, "Are you telling the truth? Don't be so rude, I'm scared, but I dared to joke about this last night. I couldn't stop thinking about that strange dream. Do you know that since you and I came here to do every day, T has had the same dream over and over again, that dream? How could there be such a strange coincidence?" Lamb took a lighter from her heart and a cigarette from her heart, her face showing a tired expression as if she couldn't believe it. This happened to me again. Tran above is about to shout quickly, and that guy over there, G6, come up. What are they doing? Wipe like that, hurry up. And go back to NI noon sun broke the first hour of the public service. This is the old man in charge of this project group this year, is also over 40, is worship. Also is the cousin of the main contractor here, Old Tin, is the most influential person. Duke just from above, gradually called down. The lady here just reached out to drink tea on you up there. Need any water? I come up for Tan Tang. Quickly mouth a little boss. Woke up and was about to yell, then immediately flattered because this old man was an anti-mutiny person. How could he not flatter? Because he was just a new soldier and had only been working for a few days. He was an old worker for decades in the industry. If not, he would be stupid, and the old man would be as stupid as the outside world. He had to accept it and not argue. He needed to be compensated for his birth year so he could train and instruct him. Hurry up and do it. Bring the lake and tiles up here. I'm so tired, I won't go down. I believe the old man woke up. He was angry and hurriedly ran out to talk. But the two of them just said to each other, transfer knowledge in a way that the Denture XT was grounded. What to do now? Tan helped break it for VX when hooked it, then remembered that the cable T we were grounded up. The sound of fire lamps, saw the sky, the wire was usually nearby to hold the wire up, and said, let me say hello to the teacher I hold, but this end of the wire, Mrs. BOC, one end into the handle so that I can yell. I pull it up, okay? But just enough, I'm not heavy, damn it, old love K, drunk motherfuck L cable D. That then buy a new strand also, but NNG, no one can pull this by hand this afternoon. Have to tell him to invest. There's a thing translate. If you ladies don't invest my money like this, isn't it a waste of time and effort? Why don't you do it and handcuff each other less? Because we are the boss, we will get what we deserve. Be smart and smart. Keep it up. We will pay you in the future. Become a master craftsman. Don't think about it now. Just do your job well. Go up to the roof and attack. It seems fun. You are more important than Lamb, so I encouraged the Lao people to re-elect like that, but Lamb still quickly became a few teachers. Looking at the agile appearance of a guy named Tuan below, he told me to be careful. Don't rip your pants. I'm down here. Take a picture and post it on Facebook. Let's write a really touching status about two guys who left their hometown to start a career in the city, but they didn't have many promotions. In the end, they also wanted to succeed, standing at the top of the sexy heights, up to nearly 10 floors. No kidding. Posting random things. If you pretend to be in the countryside and see all of your brothers and sisters, you'll go to the city to build a career and become rich, showing off to the whole village. But it's too much. When you go back to your hometown, many people will accept you as relatives, and you too will die. Tan and I is quite funny. While working and talking happily at this time, Tuan, 3 people down, tie the rope to the bucket. Now put each cup in there and pull it up. But I try strangely, why is it more tiring to work than to go out? Haha, no wonder 50 kilos. But this 50 kilos is more strange than the other 50 kilos. A bag of cement, 50 kilos I carry is heavier than a girl 50 kilos. Mom, these two guys work. Focus on quickly, go up the bridge, cross it. Leaf, which one likes H? I lead, or you to a man about 30? Nah, here too. Millennials talking happily, then also season. We know 2B guys tease their wives very much, right? No, there is a park here, a little bit of a monastery, but the lights off the house is like a thatched house in there, because I don't care about the ugly or beautiful things. Pay anything as long as you guys have money. It's cheap. About 2 years old Tan and Lamb looked at each other. The two young men were both surprised, whereas Tan bowed. The man brothers asked my friend. No need, no one, the soldier is digging. I'll eat that guy. I don't know what life is, and the tray Tan has dried up. Your house like that face of a liar, but if you marry a girl, you'll lose your C, but lean law. Very clever that 7 put it for your friend, tell the truth. There are no friends here, right? No hiding anything, brother, speak softly. Please let me show, it's been a long time the two of us haven't been able to get through ABC, but Kotan Nin big bunch of strong young energy. Sometimes have to let C entertain him because Brother C's house, the conversation of the workers was extremely lively, especially related to the topic of the story then. Dawn group, everyone participated in the conversation. Extremely enthusiastically, only the rough was pulled up when floating in the air for a few meters, then suddenly Namum was exhausted. The bucket D hit the ground, the tiles were hit hard, and Trung T attacked again. Luckily, he avoided being hit, but some of them were still thrown at him, causing him to bleed. This made Tan remad it. Just a little more, he threw the eggs up. Lamb was still shaking because of the dangerous stunt just now. What the hell is that? Why did you do it? Mike broke it. Old Tin's line angrily rang out. This is the contractor of this project. From the bottom of the group of people talking, he shook his head and didn't say anything. He was extremely quiet and stubborn. I'm sorry, I'll speak up about the situation just now. Too dangerous for himself, and he didn't understand why he slipped out of Dee's hand, the deep gap between the boundaries. Juan still hadn't recovered from the shock because he had died in a hurry. For you, if you can't do it, please go to work. What's wrong with that fabric? See, I really don't understand what I'm thinking. That's tiling. It costs a lot of money, a few 100,000 pieces of broken stone. Where is the money to give to the boss? This month, I'm here, that's my salary. I work for Nam Truck and you go home and rest. I've told you many times. We've been workers, selling our labor to earn money. That's all the work at night. Go to bed early. The next day you have energy to work. If you don't rest, where will you be alert? Where will you be healthy? If something unfortunate happens, who will be responsible? I'll just point to Manager Nam, who's breathing hard. Tell you if you don't listen, then stop. If you hear what Mr. Thin says, then tell him to reduce the unfortunate things for you. We apologize. Come down so we can handle it quickly. Come back to eat rice. Everyone is tired in this hot weather, Tin. Don't pay attention to me. Tuan is a quick-mouthed person. He spoke up to help his friend. His wound in the north is still bleeding, but he also, not bothering to care, but quickly grabbed his boss down. The two of them worked again. A few people working together also spoke up to defend him. The old man woke up. See, he didn't say anything more. On the scaffolding, there were also a few people. The sound of banging and knocking echoed in the sun, so the guys were breathing hard. Everyone worked really fast. Now it's time to go home and rest. If it weren't for work and life, perhaps no one would want to do this job. It's both heavy and dangerous. Perhaps that's why the search for workers. This construction worker in the present time is also difficult to find a contractor. Now it is very difficult to recruit soldiers to run the project. You have to go to remote areas to transfer. But good workers are even more difficult. This guy is a person with decades of experience as a construction worker, so he has prestige in the construction industry. This time it was because of his relative named D. When the construction contract was signed, he played with a civilian house, but the area of this house was large. D alone was not capable of fighting because he was still in the middle of another project, so he shot him away to get his share. 100 flower tunnels, but since starting this project, there have not been many stars. Lin T did not move immediately. The Zen student had an accident. The owner was so stubborn that he found fault and ordered him to demolish and rebuild. It was just a house error. This caused the old man in Nintrone to also be under great pressure. The owner required a very strict schedule. If he did not restrain himself, he would be blind. That is why today, he personally had to go up to direct and work with all the brothers. When he saw Lamb and Tuan, he was extremely surprised that they did not work carefully at all. C came to him and squeezed out the rest of the kite outside. Hey guys, have you rested yet? Afternoon worthy of floor D, but still a few days to work if you can hand it over to someone. Don't worry, otherwise hand it over to me. Let's go have a friendly meal together. You can do whatever you like. Don't have to think about anything, I said, seeing this. Everyone is extremely excited, like don't die, so the spirit is very excited, Tran's voice. The boy flew, and the knife far away, circled each other. It seemed more enthusiastic. The hands were quick. The body was broken, now smeared on the wall, looking extremely professional suddenly. Gradually, the teacher AC fierce. Now a very loud noise rang out. Now there was a calculation. Let's go up to that Han to look at the dock. When looking down, everyone was panicked because Lamb did not understand how at this time his whole body was hanging in the air. One leg was stuck in the sharp spear. Continuously, one leg blood from the wound flowed down to the ground. I said, what's going on? Come down, check it out. See how it's tight my socks that made me. Jerk, the voice of old Tin grumbled his face. Was worried, so he stood up. That is, a few people ran down to check Lamb. This director fainted. The scaffolding gap was in front of him. He clamped a leg of clothes in there. The rest was dark and pale. Immediately the people present rode down to take Lamb out of the scaffolding. This person was so fainted, he didn't know anything anymore. He broke his leg and now he's on the street, calling for help, not knowing where he was injured. Someone marry the corner to save him. Go ask that person's family. A few people worship. Lamb's condition, then he appeared panicked. The general manager gave his opinion because just a few days ago, there was a person who was breathing heavily because Tan died of love because he didn't want everything to affect his work. He was afraid that the police would investigate, so he quickly handled it by bringing the other person's body back to his hometown that night to clearly tell his family and relatives. He also planted a 200 million dong tiger for this family. Chan made a plan to use it to spy on this hospital. In the group of workers, it seemed that everyone knew that the other family was poor in a mountainous province. Even with 200 million dong in hand, they wouldn't be able to. Soothes people make a big fuss, but the matter is resolved in a hasty way. Losing the other family's money, losing the flirtatious person. For this reason, the secret is crazy, Lean Tongue is angry, and the brothers and work carefully. Because of the small disturbance, the money is really lost, but it's not much. Why is the matter so noisy? But the homeowner doesn't know at all, or if they do know, they never dare to speak up. Because at that time, the police and the inspector would get involved, and their mouths will be broken like that. Lamb a few stars like that, 20 disgust would be regardless. Province then boiled the sea, screaming like this makes LNG Tin immediately beg for something to cover up the baby mouth. H work no longer teach me. Tina is a normal thing. It has nothing to do. Have to scream. Let you scream, the police come hear it. Temporarily suspends construction on. We all let go have fun like this now. Now we'll go to the emergency second. It does not come say the enemy is dead, just crowing legs the first. Scream no nothing. Is okay, just wait for a while. Love leaf now looking at. Tan Nam plum color, then said Tan Song's phone, and pulled X, then was stopped by old Tin. Where are you going to call? I want to inform his family. Tan trembled, and his heart beat wildly. He replied, no need. Just go now. Via go. How much is the hospital fee? I'll just pay for tea. You're the most important person. He looked at Tan. His eyes at that time, for some reason, were extremely cold. He looked at the people who had just worked with him. They were all sweating profusely. Occasionally, some of the broken cement splashed onto the curtain. Everyone had a worried look. It was unclear whether they were worried about their son or worried about the project being halted. The construction work on that land will be stopped, but if it is stopped, there will be no work and, of course, no money. The province will take out the phone and call someone. Calm quiet. A minute later, a car, I understand, a Tin arrived. It was not an ambulance. It was probably the private car of his friends. A few people quickly got into the car and took it to the hospital, including Tan and old Tin. Before leaving, old Tin told the brothers to keep their mouths shut, lest the landlord find out. Where is it that I have no 4 bars for construction to get into it? Very Vietnamese this afternoon. Now, let's go one day tonight. I caught a black cat to cook to get rid of bad luck. I'm in time, that black of mini dong. Right, it's true that the ghost month, the old man mumbled curses, can wash up inside the car. The handsome guy tied tightly to the floor. The right leg is definitely GY. Not looking at the copper hat the stork on the left leg is. Not yet, but there is a large open wound that is still wet. In covered tan shirt, Kia just now is equal to dad for you at this time in the car. There are 4 family members. The old man is awake driving Tuan, and Lam drove the car with faces similar to old Tin Tandam. They must be brothers. Tin, this guy looked at the mirror and asked, "What's wrong?" He observed the 2 drivers and asked, "What's wrong?" He asked, "Where's the nearest hospital to deal with it?" Tin said, "I'm scared of you, but it turns out you're just a little girl's foot." This guy laughed in an impolite way, making Tan's eyes burn with anger, and said, "This guy, the bitch, caused the foot. You're the boss of it. What are you talking about?" "What we say is my business, my friend. Is it you monster me? Why worry, brother, right now? Tuan is stunned, neck Lin, wanna be broker be money this yard, but unexpectedly old love immediately hands C-Tan, then said, "Okay, this is Tang, brother. His temper too little bouncing back there. What to do with it? T. Really, this is also his occupational disease before he drove to Death Sex, specializes in collecting dead sex, had an accident, then brought home the sex of the hospital. Probably saw that guy. See you lying here, he from dead to now," he asked to. "Come back, see what's wrong. I'll drive, see, look at Tuan, then laugh 100 high. Hey, so handsome, and you don't want to go carry X divey. Hold on, I guarantee you'll get used to this in a few days. But the armor is no different from the corpse of a normal family. Here that tan catches the color used B. I have a feeling of fear when facing this guy. The lady just now when she was playing Lamb fell and her leg was hurt, but thinking back now, I don't dare to touch it, but to mention this guy. He keeps his tattooed owner tight and loves Plum extremely. If the elephant touches it, it will sink. Maybe Tuan will also get in position. No joke, the car rolled down onto the main road. The air was fresh. This stuffy car, the old man just got up and asked to break the stuffy atmosphere. Where are you guys from? We're from Lao Kai, I answered. We just heard that this old man will pay the distance fee for Lamb. So I'm also reassured because the 2 of us don't have any money. We've only been working for a few days to get our brains ready, so this transfer is inevitable. Is it the person on your side who told you to come to your side? Yes. B, I've only been working for you for a few sessions. Now I'm trying to diagnose the enemy. Brother, the lady brought that remote area. The family is complete. It's so bad now my grandma is like that. I don't have money. You can take care of his parents. They're very sick now. I'm afraid when they hear the news that he had an accident, they won't be able to bear it. You help us." Tin looked at Tuan with a calm look and said that. At that time, did you intend to let anyone know that we were suffering so much? There were so many things to worry about. At that time, I planned to go to the emergency room with his whole family. Was anyone there? If that didn't go, you guys would have heard. Old Tin looked at Tuan with a frown and said, "Here, I only know how to work. Do you hear anything? What are you looking for?" CBP SEP is so random that you want to go earn money from a guy. Isn't it for him to earn money from the homeowner so that he can have fake money for you guys? Yes, I know, this old lover's words are unreasonable, making Tuan feel that he is a decent person because he often hears that the construction workers often go to the wrong place. Sometimes they give away the workers' wages without paying them. Then they lose their money. Could this love be an exception? I'm so kind, but it's not love. What's wrong with that girl? Honey, just gently see back. I drove X and looked over at Ginger TR later and asked him. Last time, it was not easy, but it cost a lot of money to that house, but okay. I see that this Sivong calculates for me like a god, right? I have to be patient, that's right. Practice driving from the beginning to the end. You don't have to crawl into your own grave. The old boss's kitchen woke up and raised his head. He glanced at me and said, Tuan was an outsider who was here. He didn't come to talk. I drove, it seemed like he didn't care about me. Then he went in. I told you, but the house you were living in used to be a haunted dump. After that, people go to the shrine, then go to the family to let the owner die. There, whatever we do, we must have a little heart. I'll tell you everything. Otherwise, you can't explain it. You're superstitious. I firmly believe that everything is predestined. I told you, there are ghosts and demons in this place. I don't know, but I'm the driver who drives the sick people. I'm on duty this year. Why are you giving up your job? You must know. Are you crazy? You're calling me a fool. What the hell is this? Play with the ball, 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 play with the ball. A girl like you, even her wife will leave her. Don't say she's the one who left you. Meditate a little. You don't believe me, okay? Don't talk to me anymore. I need you to be careful because the thing the other day was not a death sentence. There's nothing to be natural about here. The driver glanced at my brother TM, squinted to whiten to smile, and his mouth clearly showed cunning and meanness. Both lips were straight and crooked, twitching, clearly showing that this person was a cruel man to hear. He spoke just now. This man and his brother were hiding a very suspicious secret. Hearing this, old Tim startled the plum sound. Twitching, went up to the village to do something. But Tuan's tears were still here. He held back and only hummed and said, "Okay, I believe you. Now let's go, this little brother. After that, I'll go out and move the whole family." After a while, the car will drive hard to the hospital gate. After making a nest, take x-rays and make an appointment for surgery and nail the right leg. The left leg will not be patched. Luckily, there will be no problems. Treat the wound. Don't ask to be discharged from the hospital for a few days and return to the rented room to wait a few months to remove the cast. Unfortunately, old Tin is a fairly reputable person who said that paying the fee for the job is what he did, not just beating around the bush. Tan also paid a lot of attention to the above saying, and besides, this was the old man's family's private matter, so he didn't really care. In a shabby rented room, cramped with a broom and a bag, looking at a bowl of instant noodles without anyone driving, Tan sighed. Balan, or you should leave the city and go back to the countryside. I'm so miserable here. I'm so miserable. Oh, I have a mother. Looking at the guy with the doughy feet lying on the bed outside, it was already 4 o'clock in the morning, but the two young men didn't dare turn on the light for fear of wasting money. The trick is also just dare and turn on the smallest flap of clothes, gently shaking your head. I understand if I go back now, I'll be depending on my parents, but my grandparents are old. Seeing my legs like that, what will they do? I don't know what to say to my parents. If you feel pressured, then you should just go back and leave me alone. I'm here to work. I have to work hard to pay off my debt. Do you know my family's situation? Lamb said while sobbing. Her already thin clothes made her look even more haggard. She glared at me, covering her long hair, knowing that it would turn into a film, making her look no different. What about 50-year-old men when their lifespan is only a little over half? You say that. How can you get any stone? I will leave you alone in the countryside for that with your legs like that. How can I be at peace? If you know that, I will never leave this place to make a living again. In the past years, I have not been able to lie down or let you stay in the countryside, get a wife for you, and then go. Life is hard and the pressure is too much for you. If that's the case, then you will still be like that. Tan sighed and Lamb said nothing, just quietly took a cigarette and slowly walked in the garden. In the room, not knowing what, thinking about Elle and Tan lying in the River High School, both asked their parents to go to work to earn money because they didn't want their parents to work hard, been able to earn a few more years of college with the hope of going to the city to start a career. But with the current situation is very difficult at this time, Tuan still has to take care of hundreds of friends alone when is worrying and people. The thing is that recently the old man woke up and didn't give Lamb money to go ahead anymore. See, luckily the doctor said that Nam's leg only needs 2 months of recuperation to be able to walk, while Ella is still young. Healthy, so the ability to recover his very good old tongue called lamb and fell leg, then visited him twice, each time gave him a few 100,000 plus some food. He told him all kinds of things, also quite caring, not sure if it was sincere or for some purpose. Every time the old man asked a question that made a ton of me curious today. So lamb, I'm asking for rail. Don't you remember anything, leg? Do you remember anything, lamb? Shook his head and said no, so at that time I was rowing the spear and offered myself to turn. There pulled, my leg jerked hard, then my hand was pulled and fell off, then my leg grabbed the mole. That murderer, I fainted at night and didn't know anything. Didn't seem to know the answer in advance. I sighed. Tell your mother that today's project is another one of the kids who had an accident. Dying snatched a lot of chill. We're in the hospital. The prognosis seems bad. This case, I'm sick and beaten. The monk will work with CH to ensure safety. I told him now, but the landlord didn't listen. What's going on? Tay made me do it. V-Tan was surprised. Who was snatched? New soldier. You guys should rest. I have to snatch the project. In a moment, you'll be able to drill and guess. Maintenance session, this project is almost finished. I'm also about to die. I hope that from now until the handover, nothing will happen. It's really dead. How much profit can I make? The old man went out and said, the two young men in the room are doing this. Tell Tuan, do you remember the day I broke my leg? I told you that the project had a problem. Do you still remember? I was going to ask you about that. Will you now? You're just the person I told you about the night before yesterday. I had a dream about it for several days now. But when I went to work on that project, I kept dreaming about that person, but his mouth was sewn shut, looking extremely pitiful and painful. The person was full of sadness. It seemed like he was buried. He wanted to say something, but couldn't. Lamb remembered the silhouette of the man in that dream and couldn't help but feel sad because this was so absurd. Lamb and that man didn't know each other at all. There was no obligation. Why did he ask for your help when there are dozens of workers here? Why didn't anyone dream? This is something that only the group encountered or remember. So what does this have to do with it? This person scared me. He broke his leg. The moment I climbed up the ladder for the second time, I wanted to help you. But as soon as I stepped onto the wooden floor, suddenly that person suddenly appeared. I saw it clearly. He just stood there in front of me. His bloody face kept pointing at Lao Tin, but I didn't dare to get close. I don't know why. At that moment, I was so shocked that I fell backwards. But it was also the scene at that time. Very quickly, there was something under the ladder. The job of these brothers is to pick and shovel and to rub, but if I fall from there, those things will stab me, and I will search for that person, but somehow I can feel it. That thing will pull my legs back so that my person will get stuck. Luckily, I didn't die, but I'm not very clear because of the situation. It was extremely fast. When it was completely determined, it was over. You're serious, but I don't believe it. Why would I make up this story? So, who is that person? Why point of V? Pointing V, what is his purpose? Tuan immediately intended to ask himself, but just shook his head. I still believe he is a good person. You don't see many people when the workers go to work with me. They don't care. The most important thing is that you, and I don't have any matching clothes. Count this time. My broken leg cost a lot of money. No joke, Lamb answered, but in her heart also asked a very big question. Then it's not like that, but you are. Talking about a construction worker who is also this. President's soldier and died last month, not even on this day. Also sent to the exam. This person can go home and hand over to the family. The amount is 200 million. I told Lamb, but Lamb was not scared or startled at all, but replied, I've heard this before, but that's reasonable. Now people's families in the countryside are poor and have to work, right? But the old man is a Tweed person. We work, unfortunately, now there's a problem. He is the one who directly has to take responsibility. Of course, the way he handled it is reasonable, because the family needs money. But remember, an old man supports a lot of people. How much money did the old man spend and beat it up when it rains on a rainy day? Dozens of brothers sitting around playing? It's a pity if it doesn't go away. But what about the position and me and my mother in that situation? Not to mention the matter of the leaves carrying the other guy's body home, carefully with knives. Tomorrow they will run away for them. Dang Hong has not compensated the room 200 Chu if this matter is brought to thee. Government surely not to get the money is to be silent anymore, but like that we say right don't do say. But attack no part back has any merit from the perspective of a person who competes in labor like Lang Tin wants to avoid the law, then the reputation affecting business and many other consequences behind, for example. Just needing an article with information posted is considered finished. In the afternoon, it is not related to this and that. V in front of the light bulb in the house suddenly flickered continuously and flickered in a very confusing way. It was as if someone was there. Tang Bat continuously did it in the two rooms, surprised, looking at each other. At that time, he immediately said, "The stepmother," but the landlady came to replace the light bulb. How many days has it been since Diet has accepted this kind of behavior? She probably has to replace it herself. She does business without any heart. The whole room is so small. The fan is also like a jet cloud, so hot then he let go of the electric board. Uncle wanted to turn off this light bulb, but it was so strange this water, no matter how you turn it on, the bulb still flickers like that. There is no way she is strange. I don't know if it's crazy or what, she broke the car. And now Tan was annoyed and shouted, but when he finished his sentence, the light bulb suddenly broke into pieces and scattered, making him startled. The room became pitch black immediately. He reached for the phone and turned on the light and shined it towards the light bulb. Then the whole person needed sad use. When the phone screen lights up, then immediately it flickers like someone or something intentionally tease you. So afraid the phone will explode like the light bulb later fixed on the door. But this water later, Lynn, she feels something is jumping down in the range will mix with the smell of fresh heart. This makes Tan shot. Then suddenly there is a black shadow passing by the branch out door. The room is only about 10 square meters. I am standing outside the door. But the thing that just flew so fast didn't touch him at all, which made Tan feel a little scared until Mrs. Lamb, "Where are you? Are you okay, Lamb?" I didn't hear the guy answer me. Lin Nitch condemned walked towards the bed to do it. He had been lying there for a month now. This rented room was where the two Tangs had lived together for quite a while, and every corner was so familiar that it couldn't be any more familiar. But today, it was so strange that it was hard to understand. "Lamb, where are you? Why didn't you say anything?" Ah. In this moment, suddenly there was a strong stench that was hard to describe in the Jin Dynasty, and covered his nose and asked his friend Lamb, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you shitting in the toilet? Are you? Okay, tell me to take you to hell. You are so dirty." And he is out now. The chopsticks are right now. Twanta dirty. The kitchen gam go into room. Lin light T not clear in H electric light, but it was enough to see clearly everything below Lamb's feet was a pile of 7 jumps, but see Lamb's face did not react to his friend's question. His eyes just looked out lifelessly. Outside the door, the strange addiction of B, the eyes followed it, startled, realizing a puddle of water right where the yellow notebook stood, looking down at Tuan's pants, still feeling dry. So where did that water come from? I'll remember the strange story just now. Tuan was now so weak that at this moment, he ignored the stench that was coming from the bed and immediately said, "It's a ghost. It's not good. Let's go, I'll take you. Get out of here. Go out there. It's a little easier to breathe. Look, this stinks. Let's clean it up tomorrow. Now you and I go out. Don't sleep. I'm scared." "I'm not scared," objected to the opinion of the guy at this time. He was still in a daze because of the strangeness just now. Since the light bulb exploded, he began to see a familiar shadow starting to walk into the room. It was none other than the person who a few days ago, into fuck moo now, See himself got off work for a night and fell from the scaffolding down, almost died at this moment. He appeared again, and the thing that made it difficult to understand was that he didn't say anything they could. Be that people didn't know each other, so he couldn't speak, but that was the thing. This needs to make it more scared, and this is how two young men drink together out to the communal yard behind a rented room, reading Hong Cool to the end of the weather, not asking bored, look back at the rented room in front of the honey here. Although there are many people, but the good thing is still spacious, now also knit 12 o'clock at night, but maybe because of the power outage, so many people are here waiting for their children until the old people. In hand, everyone holds a stick, nan waving. Mouth muttering die 6 trodam to it, lotto to it at midnight, in who sleeps for connecting two young men. Seeing that there were too many people talking outside, he regained his composure, and the situation just now was extremely scary. There weren't many stars, but the ghost of that man was here and followed this haunting lady. Did you see anything just now? No answer. Juan Lam looked attentively because the temple in front seemed to see something. The neighborhood was crowded with tall buildings growing up close to each other, making the air stuffy. The sound of cicadas chirping all day and night seemed to want to make the already stuffy space of this area become more and more uncomfortable. These past few days, it was cut off for rotation, not session, so no one can stand the intense heat of summer. From the elderly to the children in the neighborhood, everyone brings their fans to the middle of the yard to catch a bit of the sky, but it's not cool. How many songs can be warmed at this time? The heat from the beat class radiates out into the thick, uncomfortable atmosphere. Progressing the subject of the family's coal mine, the sound of the fans rang out, and there were the sounds of the fans, tang-dap, mosquitoes cried out, the blanket was as hot as the heat. There was no need to make people feel this hot. What do you mean you don't answer me? Tam was surprised and asked Bien, what are you looking at? I just looked at it. It seems like it's inside the temple. When someone Lamb pointed to the temple, it looked quite large. It was unclear whether it was a temple or a pagoda, but it was built a long time ago. It had 2 floors and there was a shrine. There was a stone bell that could be seen from the outside. The inside was worshipped by someone or something. The total color was red. It was always locked, and there was someone looking after it. Only on the first day of the lunar month did people come to clean it up. It was said that the 2 monks were in this wave, but they had never been there. Now step to the people warehouse, this can be called, near the house of the family, is also right from this position. Can also see the house that the 2 greedy guys built is located next to the temple. Who people are like that, then you guys are very scared. Then Tan look in the direction of Lamb's hand, but only see a few lines of Chinese eggs lit up on the side, holding the wings, holding the red mist-top faded, closed on. Both sides also have 2 lines of words like a parallel sentence, white background, painted black. Yes, all this line, it also collapsed, worthy of the serious level. Be the destruction of time, we see clearly that a person just walked. Go there very quickly on the floor, that commonplace. Their Lamb affirmed this made the injection leg not much, plus the secret like that. Then how the hell can anyone get in and here? Then how the hell is there anyone standing in charge here? Something unexpected happened. The 2 guys were attentively going up to the 2nd floor of the house when a voice said to the child like that, "Oh my gosh, you look like that too." When they turned around, they were both startled by an old lady, probably someone in the neighborhood, with silver hair, a pale face, and a set of clothes. White shirt, leaning on a cane, standing next to the guy who just left. Maybe because the guy was crazy, you didn't notice his voice. This old lady sounded like she was about to lose her breath. I looked like she was about to lose her breath. Who is she? I looked at this old lady and couldn't help but be scared. It was clear that this was a real person, not a ghost. At this time, there were quite a lot of people in the waves, so he was strong and simple. Just after the incident a moment ago, now meeting this mysterious old lady, he might faint. The old lady named Zhang was quite strange. Maybe because she had vitiligo, so she worshipped her white body. So in addition to wearing white like this, then maybe this is the first time I've seen the feeling Uncle Old Lady eyes seem to no longer see, only to leave black danger to haunt Uncle is the person. You guys don't be afraid, wait for that, but you do it yourself. Ghost tan a foe while nom ask the brain, why are you here, man? Don't go home, sleep. What are you doing, money? Uncle, go out to get some fresh air, but your leg is stuck. Uncle, sorry you. Guys didn't mean to do it. The old lady at this time spoke in a completely different tone, making Ghost TNG feel CT has not many stars at this time of feeling. Uncomfortable up in the heart, yes. It's been a few months since I caused the leg. But oh, but wait, I thought the person looking at her brain seemed strange. Why did this old lady call herself Uncle? Obviously, this person is an old lady. But besides, what does it have to do with her leg? The last time my husband and I met, we didn't recognize each other. Why didn't we recognize each other? Him flew too scared. The old lady spoke in a calm voice, but the V-ear C was as straight as the character living next to me. This time, Tan and the person who knocked TNG all the way to the end, maybe because they were scared and didn't recognize who this uncle was. Both of them wanted to stand. Get up and run, but Lamb's broken leg and the plaster kept hugging Tan's body so tightly that he couldn't move. The two of them were going crazy, and strangely, no one around knew anything. The old woman still looked at Nai Tang with her black eyes, slowly opening her eyes like catching a cat. This needs to be done for good. Nai was extremely angry. Uncle, why did the old woman still lean on her back and stand there observing for a long time? After waiting for Mai to let the young man calm down and continue, you were the one who told me in my dream, but I don't understand what you want to say, so. Continuously avoiding young man, what a coward. The old lady's voice mocking made him laugh and didn't know how to answer. T. Duke then spoke up to ask for the village. But why is it him? And C must be someone else. How someone else? The old lady seemed to have lost. T lost full of black eyes. Only the pupils didn't make Tan look at C like 4 villages go to the grave. Extremely scary. This uncle didn't know Uncle the day matched than Uncle could see. And want to ask for help. But Uncle, you are so bad you can't. Only see you, but can't still shit. Both out pants fall down the stairs, rely on both legs, immediately come here. Two Tang looked at each other, laugh shame. If so, then it is true that just now the ghost of this uncle, we entered that rented room, but both of them did not have much idea what this ghost can do now. Speak, Uncle, sympathize. I have never seen a ghost before. How do I know that the appearance of Uncle at that time was very scary? Uncle Rhea, hair error. This is because someone harmed to it. Uncle, ask you guys one thing, is that guy thin harmed Uncle brought along? Uncle, watch people. Uncle cannot do anything. Now body armor Uncle's was poured concrete under that house, kids. Please help me. One is to inform my family. This Uncle Duke's family must be waiting for me. Thank you very much. So where's my house? You have to inform me, but how? All my documents from Chan and Lieutenant Colonel B. Tam, both in high, came to meet the homeowner. People said that Uncle Han was killed here. I can't go far. So who is the owner of this project? Uncle Tuanlin. Drink, light words, tin lamb, stop, remember, and I will help you. Complete the will. What else is there to probe? The old lady sighed and told the two Chans to leave the brothers of TK and release the workers. All of them are fake stones so that no one will have to suffer. In this world, people can do anything to harm H because of money. You are young, so you don't understand the evil in life, my friend. The old lady looked at the two of them for a while and added, Uncle, you are a good person, so you need to say something. Now I don't have much time left. I can tell you these things. It's lucky that this old lady has just become angry, so I can marry you. Life of to talk to you guys, please help Uncle. Thank you said this sentence, then the old lady we GY go home, but have to step the place, no rolls suddenly. There are many witnesses the old lady like that immediately. She proudly called the ambulance. Some people also complained she's old, what to go out in the yard. Everyone saw the old lady fall down. No one can guess that the old lady had died a while ago. Brother, and asked, who is this lady? Tan curiously asked a man while handcuffing a person take. The old lady to the emergency. This is the lady from the province where the house is right here. You don't know. No, I'm the one here today. Is the first day I've met this old lady who has had a stroke and has been lying in one place for nearly 10 years. Who the hell is she now that she's dead? Why did she suddenly come out here to do something? It's really talented that we can make see, then our children and grandchildren will suffer less. But it's a stroke. Hui relapsed. Just now, I also talked to her. How did she fall to the gate and get carried away? We are all children and grandchildren in the house with her. Awake, my brother. Then the man took out his phone and called someone, probably to tell them the bad news. El Tamaro T said suddenly, I'm afraid. Because if so, then no one here knows about the old lady and the two boys transferring classes. If so, then it's true that Mrs. Lang died before and was possessed by the ghosts of her strange uncle and aunt. Is this true? How could she see Tuan walking back and forth, empty and alone? What should I do now? What should I say to them? I'd wash and do it. I believe that you died unjustly. If you and I don't do anything, I feel very guilty. I'm worried that if I refuse to come back at night, I'll die. If I don't die, the office will die too. Because of the smell, because you're scared to the point of shitting your pants, shut up, my feet hurt so much, I can't run to the bathroom, that's all, there is nothing to lift over and over again. Tuan inside, my husband is angry, there's no more stuff, so now our family has to be careful this thing can't be picked up. You guys, tin is very dangerous, especially his younger brother Tuan told Lam about the day he took him to the emergency room talking about the conversation between the two brothers in the car. It seems like these two brothers are still hiding some secret that every time they remember. Again, Tuan saw me using the name of himself, calling himself GSCT Vu. Maybe this guy admires GSCT Luong, so he calls himself like that. Damn it, that young Tang on the car said you're dead. I tried so hard to force TNG to give me a mosquito net, but luckily the old man woke up. His brother begged me for a long time before I let him go. You know, because you were injured at that time. I beat him up so hard that he went crazy. He didn't wait for you to go to the emergency room. He's crazy, really or not. Really, there's something else. That guy believes he's really tall, but I'm not afraid of him. Luckily, the old man begged me for a long time before I let him go. He went to admit it to Tuan. It's painful to go. They even invited me to work with it one day. Do you know what day it's doing? It's waiting for a dead body. But now it's a driver who looks at you with a scowl, a white-faced person with a cold heart. I guess it's a cruel woman like that. If it touches my brother, I'll leave it alone. Tan just boasted about his achievements to you while trembling and smoking. It seems like the truth is gradually being revealed, making him feel comfortable. He's like a motherfucker. In the past, I lived with you since I was little. I didn't know what your personality was like, but dare to fight loudly and brag. But I don't thank you, because when you were lying next to me, you were bullying me for your sincerity and kindness. What favors have you been together this year? You've played together. Are you being polite? Lin invited me to go to the park first, but that guy said yes. I want to ruin this guy's life. The two of us laughed out loud together. She had a lot of pressure that had been pent up for so long. When we were finally released, it was almost like when we knew the truth about their ghosts, both of us felt very light. Now we just need to inform the landlord and it's done. The next morning, after cleaning the house, the room smells. Last night, Tan left Lam alone in the rented room and went to the construction site. At this time, he was alone and it was too much, so he got angry and went to the public house in the front gate. He carefully observed the temple's lips and asked. Then he knew that Lin Tian held it. Legend has it that this temple was built by a landlord in the past. This landlord was extremely rich, but when the revolution happened, he was forced to go to the ground and lost all his property. He was hanged at this temple, and his son was sent to plow in the battlefield in the north. There is no information about him anymore. Like the temple is still there later when society develops houses are naturally flooded with money koi mini apartment heat. So as close to you everywhere, things come back, making the alley narrow and give away like a baby because the people's things are too big for the temple and the yard. The locals here do not dare to touch because it is extremely sacred and do not dare to offend the previous owners. Although in the city every inch of land is gold, many families have land next to the yard and want to encroach a little, but in the end they all have to return it intact and then sink life thank very much. Expensive but still cannot be a piece. People think this piece of furniture is very fierce because it is sacred land and the previous temple owner. This place is a warehouse yard located at the end of the village near the cemetery. This is the place where the dead bodies of people who died in storms, died in pairs, died in accidents, or for some reason had an accident, the bags that died in the flood. If you can salvage them, they will be covered and left here waiting for someone who is free to come and claim them for burial. If no one claims them, the villagers will take them to the cemetery to bury them. So this piece of furniture is kept, so it is even more dangerous. Dangerous later, everything changed land. Suddenly people stabbed family, lived together with dead people. People built houses, yard close to the sea view, lost many people coveted, but all failed, some lost everything, others failed. Brothers, family, poison, lean family, moved by themselves, not right away. Have house, still have people distribute oil, spread, go, see. Only then know the reason is because of greed. Nam occupied land together with this old owner. Just went to practice around the pond and observe. This time it was daytime, so saw everything clearly. The house that the old man was building encroached on a part of the temple's land quite a lot. I don't know how the old man bribed that no one paid attention. Or maybe the people here knew the consequences of this, so they ignored it. Or maybe the old man bribed all the people in the neighborhood until they didn't keep quiet. That was the house of old Fook, who was over 40 years old this year. Not only did he not believe it, but he also radiated extreme arrogance. On top of that, he also said that Lamb didn't know where his hometown was, but he seemed to be a rich, old, and successful person. At first, when buying this land, Fook deliberately looked at Goy. The opportunity here is that every inch of land is worth an inch of gold. The whole house is so big that it is difficult to spread out. If you build a mini apartment, you will have to rent out hundreds of rooms. At that time, you can just sit back and enjoy it. Investing in land is never out of date. The number of children is increasing day by day, but the land is getting smaller and smaller. Because of this thinking, many apartments have been born. Some old people know that hundreds of red book papers are wasted. Square meter on the old man's private temple. When he was digging the foundation of the house, he encroached on the land of the temple to make it enough for his area on paper because there was no clear surrounding wall. The temple was quite fat. To open the main topic, he closed his eyes and let it go. The people here knew and spoke up like the color of fortune. He used many ways to be, though. It could be said that this was a professional and methodical Westerner. The ancients had a saying, if you breathe, you will be sacred, you will be careful, and you will be safe. Normally, when people do anything related to building a house, they must at least do a ceremony called dong, moving. Landa asked the local god to protect the house carefully, still invite her to worship Dang Hong, believe not Fok Bao this land of mine tea. Because it's too much, must ask someone on the Tran people. Vin people still cause trouble. Damn Heartstone can waste a liter of saliva envelope shoes prayer just to get the permit. Now have to ask Trong Lin with Visum believe who wants Nana shoes envelope. Many then, how do we know forget death is the end conquer? The full is how the hell there is no spirit. Ghosts all are empty wishes tomorrow. You guys should start construction. You're on schedule until the end of the year, but you can't have a new house in time. Damn it with me, the contractor is also Mr. Thin. Then speak up and tell him to listen to me. Wait, if you build a house in the month of the lake, it's very unlucky. If you encounter any problems, you can say this and that. Be sure to avoid Tang, it's better. Oh, or this public is funny, my paper is my land. I have money, it's not like I'm the one who builds. Why do you advise the public to buy it no matter how much you report? I don't care, your job now is to do it well enough. If you don't want to do it, let me contact the other party. Hearing the boss say that, The old man Fook had to shut up and joke. If you advise me, then advise me. At this time, this is to welcome the brothers' work, so it will go on for a long time. If there is no work, they will starve to death. So the old man woke up that night and started to adjust differently. I don't know how the driver of the machine was so discouraged that he had already built the foundation of the machine, but the wall of the temple collapsed. The new temple was also tilted and tilted. Some people saw that and stopped the construction the very next day, for the villagers to respect the ash of the crazy eyes of the villagers Elthsome, who will fix the words of this house. Kang, the moon is big and beautiful, and the position is smooth, so no one has any opinions. If they fail, they will be resolved by old Fook by taking money to say goodbye. But to fix life is not like a dream. Old Fook could not have expected that the construction workers that day came to the meeting the first. Unfortunate incident, all Hong was scared because they saw an old man with a silver hair to let them out of the land now. Successive nights after that, the breathing group leaned to one line knew they encounter an accident not immediately, as if while working rolled over fainted or had their belongings hidden. A difficult much told this story to the old provincial boss. The contractor began. He did not believe, thought that the breathing group Kim superstitious, not pouring concrete foundation first after the fight, almost ended the old province, began to absorb the voice that scared my full girl has been doing fake. Construction for half a lifetime, still do not know ghost face horizontal, each vertical. What is its name for you? Do not have a rumor spread around like that too. Brothers, focus on making a living, then work hard. Don't tire your mother out because the family only wants to have Uncle rest. You're a good boy. But you still have the strength to work for you. Say that who dares to surround here. But in the old man's army, there is a person who is a good person. He is the old man's cousin, but he has more deaths than brains. Speak up. My sister said, but I don't believe it, the sister. We've been fighting for how long? This project, that project. It's not. That I don't know anything, but I'm very strange. But it's like every night he's agitated. His body aches as if someone hit him. You've been waiting for him. He's a psychopath, John. Mission, let me take care of the brothers and sisters. But you're shaking their spirit. Are you good? I'll sleep here tonight for a day, and then I'll know. When I go to work, everyone is the same. Why do you always think you're the best? I'm not sure. His life and age are equal to mine. This guy doesn't have a degree, but he can take on all the guys who studied in school. That's why he just shot this project for me. Seriously, this project isn't good. There will be a lot of deaths. Hearing that, the old man immediately woke up and got mad. Oh my gosh, that dog. Hey, are you my brother or my father that you're the one who's been cheating on me? You're a contractor, so you're really strong. If you say that, then who will you accept? Who will die? That girl is hiding something, etc. She already has alcohol in her system. Mustang is really strong. This cousin has made me lose face in front of so many people. He's an old man, and he still hasn't paid my salary. I'm so dirty with that chess piece. What the hell are you dirty about? For so many months now, you haven't paid me. I've come home to my children and family, but you're just living in the air. You're so brave, but you're living like a dog. That's two. The brothers rushed and fought to capture Du Songkok. How many people did Chan Vong Tung get? Since that day, people have not been thin about Han, the younger brother of Lao Thin. Because after the fight between the brothers of the old boss Kai, Lao Thin said that his younger brother was a traitor, and the people who followed the project and the contractors were all from Tu Su, so no one asked or cared. What did they do? They waited until that day when Tan came back from work. He and Lan. We met Mr. Fook, the owner of the house. Did he say anything? We won't say anything, but it seems that Lao also joined the old boss and argued loudly. Why was that? I heard about something about the year's money. I thought it was related to the money for the plating, but at that time I also saw the GCT guy surpassing the old man's brother. Did you say anything? What did you say? When I saw you, they asked if you were dead yet. Are your legs healed yet? It seems like this guy is crazy. What did the landlord say? At that time, I was standing on the upper floor and heard mumbling, not clear, strange. Or did the old man know something? The two guys looked at each other, clearly seeing the confusion in each other's minds, not knowing when they heard the news that their house was about to die. Concrete foundation, then how is his feeling? Is he scared to the point of locking dying Kong? Tan threw it to you, Sejong. Suddenly revealed a thoughtful expression, then said, I tell the truth, is still afraid of old Finn and Vong's brothers. According to what Uncle Han said, then all the workers working for him are also not good at anything. But if now we brothers say it is also fake, then this salary tang of mine is considered as shit-tone, but really not afraid of them taking revenge on us here. Still share the job where you do that. Do you remember when Han told us? Don't stay away from this group. The work is hard and the salary is low, drinking and gambling all day long. I'm sure this city is too much, you guys. I'm a little poor, but close to my family. I have a lot to spend. I have a little to spend. I try to stick to the city like this, so over the years, do you see how much better it is? You don't have to be afraid of evil. Now you have to pay the price. Touch this. It's convenient to win. I don't commit any crime without paying the price. I really love Uncle Han, you guys. Do you? What crime did the old man commit that he killed him to destroy the evidence? But as if there were no me and you, both of you could have predicted that I would be ironed again. You see, this guy is about the same age as my parents. He doesn't have a family, wife and children. But does he know that at this time, his wife and children deny it? Maybe they're thinking about whether his father has a group of people working or not, who would know that his father C is dead. Hearing Lamb say that, Tan almost agreed. He himself also really wanted to help Trung, but he was still hesitant and afraid, and he was still a bit suspicious about it because he was too absurd and unreasonable. If it's not true, then why jump? It's all just two tangs with paranoia or you and I to report to the police. Go to the east. They will help us even though it's far. They still have the skills and the crazy position. Naturally, they went to the police. They are crazy. They are mentally ill. They dragged them to the camp. But remember, luckily it's not true. Naturally, I am Mr. Tin. Why did you answer her? Juan said that made him become so confused because the story of meeting a ghost too yesterday was too absurd and unreasonable. He answered the guy, I have a way to verify. Remember the old lady who was paralyzed yesterday? Now you and I will go to her house. See if it's true that she's dead. Because last night, when Trung-Han told me and you, we heard clearly that she died. If she died, then this story is clearly nonsense. If she really died, then this story makes sense. Come on, let's go. Then Tang calmed down and went outside. Just as he walked out of the room, after walking a bit, he heard the funeral drumbeat. They looked at each other and followed the drumbeat to cry. Emitted from the speaker when entering the gate, both of them were startled. The old lady entered and disappeared. It was the image of the old lady from the day before, now lying on the cane guan. The photo was taken from the old lady's portrait, along with the age of the old lady. Exactly, did she come in? Tan asked Lamb to come in, so he was silent. Tan, anyway, we were the ones who met her before she died. I wanted to light a stick of incense for her. Outside the table, there were descendants of the old lady's family. One person was writing the list of voters. The other was a liver person who was dirty and dusty. Lamb and Tuan were both holding strange faces. Ancestral appearance, so Tongue is a thief, Tien to Emperor, Ha 10 rabbits to do something fake, we want to register to visit. Ha, what is it like with you bring it to writing the condolence book of H? Is there any call? Or not look at first strange, I've never met you. Yes, we are neighbors, Tan answered Tuong, but seemed annoyed going to a funeral, but just walked like an interview. So the guy at the table revealed the attitude of the top of the story. Let go do practice calm, step to you, but I am a breathing. Construction next to the wave, thanks to you yesterday, brought Mrs. Na. So we brought Mrs. Lyax to the emergency v the money she lost. So we want Sang Lo Hung. And where does the soul of the old lady come from? Oh, this is a ceremony, yes. You say it clearly, yo. Can I not understand that envelope here is the custom of going to sink the ghost v the most money of the deceased that is a ceremony. Do you understand? I do not understand this. I do not have that custom. Just need to be present to help. That's it. People see that without saying anything more, stab a plate into two give and receive. Then drink together, go to the altar, both say condolences to the homeowner. Then at the table, look at each other. Then this is a chant. The law here is strange. Why must there be death? Belgian style on me is like that. You asked me, I asked who crowded. The speaker rang out cha fook neighbor together with brothers. Sheet glass construction turn mirror soul the lady into this name. Even right now turn head to look out this moment. A fat man with respect next to a wreath with fresh fruit walking into the street is the quality of rich people. This is the fook owner of the project. Two guys mourning damned together where the old man are. Brothers of Tin Bong House, but what makes the two guys pay attention is not the wreath or gift, but the band. The contestants, all eyes turned to this side because all three were dressed politely and solemnly. Whoever took them all brought a golden movement. TC finger looked like a sparkling chain around the neck. That was the leaf of fortune along with the set of things. That was the tan in the grass when the guy came out to cut the younger brother of the old man. That was up here. We saw a big argument. Why not can we go together? The house is supposed to be reconciled. Then the monster came to visit the funeral of the old lady. Or are they really funny? So you and I are not related. We still came. But the truth happened when Lao Fook just held the scriptures from the old lady's son. Gopher plugged into the bowl horizontally, then suddenly there was a strange bang. Now suddenly there was a murderous sound that made everyone startled. The Kai family expressed what happened, then the old man suddenly woke up and went back to the salty mirror of old Hong. So because the portrait on the table at this time was not of the old woman but a very familiar and close face, that Chin Han let out a loud scream and fell down, all fainted old Vong. When he was with me like that, without saying a word, immediately put him in the car and left in front of the astonished eyes of many people. Fook Din's hometown was gone when he reached the main gate. Suddenly, two stars came to stop him. Lam and Tuan had not yet calmed down and approached Lean Tin. He whispered into Uncle Fook's ear. Is that right, Uncle Fook? There's something I want to tell you urgently. It's related to the house you're building. Who are you? It doesn't matter. What's important is that your project is having a lot of problems. Hearing this, old Fook was stunned. I don't understand why those two guys from somewhere spoke to the old man with such a condescending tone. Damn it, I don't care about him from A to Z, from Z to now. What is the problem? What is the problem? You guys are the police. How to prevent fire until the height of the ant pour the procedures, but there is still a problem. I don't care who you guys are. But I do it right. What do you like then? Say it's straight to the afternoon, Duke. No, Uncle and I are just your wife, but I want to tell the press an extremely important news already here, not convenient to say. But go see you, we then the young people gently each. Other to the residential area, public damn public from. Here can see the first big project of old T. All the danger of Hai, the young man is also. Follow me. Do you know Uncle Han? No, brother. You have many children on Uncle Han, but my cousin Tin is the contractor for our construction project. Remember, how did he die? Uncle Fu was startled by panic, and last month, Han was the one who directly supervised the project for him. But later on, it was just that it was not related until he asked Lam Teat back. But what if you die? What does it have to do with this project? Hurry up, Uncle. Very busy. There are so many things I don't remember. Not related, but still very related. Uncle HH died. I'm in your house, this institute, so you know, but in there, remember, like any big project that doesn't have new people lammed on life ghost is all up to people's fate, Uncle. Don't care much. Let's yo is a waste of your time. Why are you? So mean Uncle died in your house while working for you. Why don't you care about this matter? But also heard the workers say right on a night the lover and his younger brother waited for the body to be handed over to the family to compensate $200 million. Everything else is resolved. You kids, why do you say it's not that case? If you currently Uncle Hane's wax is still buried right under the B layer of concrete. In your house, Uncle, do you know? What you were told is true. Who heard it this time and jumped up? Lean got an electric shock. Her belly was so fat that she shook her tongue as if she had been hit. She was paralyzed and trembling. This is the truth. Such a serious matter. I don't dare to speak carelessly. Uncle Han's source informed me. Just now, I got it from you and at the funeral of the old lady next door. Uncle Han often stood right next to you. But do you know, did you see that old man Tin so fainted? It must have been Uncle Han's doing. This time, Uncle Han also followed and harassed people out of the car, and don't know what Uncle did this time. Old Fook was scared of the disease, although it was a sad news about the case of CSAC. The person who died and was buried in Ba's house was not confused and scared. Who is the translator? Chu H. of Old Man Ran Ray asked this according to Uncle Han. Said that old love too. I just conveyed this to Uncle according to Uncle Han's opinion. Okay, how Uncle handled it was because of Uncle we have no relation. Did Uncle Han remind you about some dead uncle and uncle? There it was then the two Tannin helped each other back to the rented room as if feeling that they had completed their mission excellently right in the middle of the night, for then Hurley packed luggage to catch a look to go home to escape the city of flowers. Here is not suitable for them. A few days later died. New newspaper reported a car speeding lost control and then crashed into the car with two men. TSI luckily only slightly injured, but his brother died tragically. It is not clear how old Fook handled the case of Vai Tin Hong of Trung Han, but old Fook's house can continuously be in trouble for a while. Avoid Tin Hong happened, causing many people to be lean. People gossiped with each other that due to construction built on a piece of sock with many ghosts, there is a rumor that because the owner of the house knew that this piece of sock had too much evil spirit, he used living people to suppress that piece of land. Only old Fook was the one who knew the most, but because of the violations in that house, old Fook was also arrested and put in storage for a while, then got sick and died. Would like to thank the audience for paying attention and listening. I would like to sign off for you, and I hope to see you again in the next stories. Yeah.